welcome to another exciting episode of the OKR Q&A Podcast, also known as the OKR Corral, where OKR Insight is king. I'm your host, Tim Meinhardt, CEO of Atruity, an OKR consultancy headquartered in our nation's capital. Today, I am so thrilled to have an opportunity to talk with Jack Cullen. Having known Jack both personally and professionally for almost 40 years, Jack is a very recognized senior-level executive in the world of staffing. As the former president of Modus and now a board member and sales leader at Diversant, Jack has seen the staffing industry evolve from its humble beginnings to today's sophisticated growth industry. Plus, he can still shoot the three. Everyone, it is my sincere pleasure to welcome Jack Cullen. So, in today's program, we're so happy to have Jack Cullen visiting with us today. Jack, share with me a little bit about your job title, company that you're working with, and some of your biggest accomplishments.
Tim, I've been in the IT staffing industry now. It's hard to believe, but July 15th, 1985 is when I stepped foot into this crazy industry. How about that? 35 years.
35 years.
And, it's been a great 35 years. It's been very fortunate to have found an industry that I've really enjoyed. It's been a very competitive place. We've always enjoyed competition, and I've been very fortunate to be around a lot of great people. Currently I'm working with a company called Diversant, which is a diversity-owned IT business headquartered in Red Bank, New Jersey. They'll do about $200 million in revenue this year, 14 offices throughout the country, and really great company. And I've been a board member of the company now for about 2.5 years, and also a senior advisor to the company. And one of the things I've been working with them and doing is really trying to run their offense, really trying to find how to correctly run revenue and recruiting streams for the company, rebalance a lot of how the company was built so we can really grow towards the future. And it's been a great experience, and I'm very fortunate to work with a number of wonderful people, both on the executive leadership team and all throughout the company.
Fantastic, Jack. You and I, we had these discussions prior to Diversant making an investment in the OKR methodology and putting OKR into the management and operation of your organization. So tell me a little bit about what your initial impressions were of OKRs.
Well, Tim, I think it's important to realize, how did we even get into OKRs, right?
Yeah.
So a fellow board member is a gentleman named Boris Groysberg. And Boris is a Harvard Business School professor, renowned, wonderful person. And I've been very fortunate to attend a number of Boris's teaching seminars. As a matter of fact, Boris puts on a seminar once a year for Diversant clients as well as for Diversant staff members. And when we were doing a case study on a company headquartered actually in Bethesda, Maryland, called Meinhardt Corporation, I was really intrigued by how well this company was run and how well they performed year in, year out. And one of the ingredients and one of the key successes to their formula was they've embraced a goal-oriented methodology to run their business. So very intriguing. Why a company is successful. Companies are successful because they set goals. But many companies lose track of their goals. It's like, how do you set them, and then you go on to do all these other things that you've got to do throughout the course of your day, week, month, quarter, and it's easy to lose track. When I learned about OKRs, and it started with meeting, having a random chat with you in a locker room at Manor Country Club about what you're doing, and just hearing OKRs. And I had worked with in my previous employment, where I spent a lot of years, we had introduced OGSM. And OGSM is a great methodology, and it is something that I think can work well in certain situations, certain industries, and certain companies. But in the staffing business, you need something that's simple, something that's really going to be embraced and followed. Mm-hmm. And the more I learned about OKRs and seeing the video that John Doerr had put together, and then picking up the book Measure What Matters, once I started looking at this, I said, wow, I think this is something that could really make a difference for Diversant. So that's how it all really got started. And, what it's led to is, I believe, tremendous success, particularly in some really difficult times. And it's been something that has been fully embraced. The ownership of the company, right down to, every employee throughout the company is now embracing OKRs, and it's having a dramatic positive impact on the results of the company.
Wow, fantastic, Jack. So this is a great question, prompts your head a little bit. So talk to me about what you think were the biggest challenge that you guys had in getting started with OKRs.
Well, yeah, Tim, like many things, there's, in a lot of companies, there's always a flavor of the month. And, everybody's, looking for, the silver bullet, the new better mousetrap that's going to, lead to great results. And, again, been doing this 35 years, haven't found really one. And I don't think I'm going to between now and the time I retire. So, is really, let's find something, let's take a look at something, let's see if there's something out there that we can all collectively really buy in. And, I think the key to Diversant success with OKRs, and I think really the success with OKRs in and of itself, is that it's very easy to understand. I mean, we all should have objectives, right? We have objectives, we have goals.
Yep.
And the key results are what we want, how to get to those objectives, to get to those goals, we have to hit certain key results. And again, things that are simple, I think really work, and they really resonated well with me and with the leadership of this company. It's like, let's not try to overcomplicate things. Let's talk about things that are really important to this company, and let's set up. Let's put them out there. Let's whiteboard this. Let's have discussion about this, and let's really focus on a couple simple things that are really critical to things that we want to accomplish. And then let's talk about the key results we need to have them, and can we measure them? Are we doing this today? And the answer is not really. We think we are. We're sort of. Again, I think the beauty of what OKRs have done for us is they've put it out there. We've all unanimously agreed. We all bought in. This is not something that is jack driving. This is something that, John Goulet, Bill Grubbs, the leadership of the company is saying, this is important to us. Here's our mission statement. Here is our, key objectives for the company. Now let's cascade them down throughout the organization.
Yes.
And you keep it real simple. And you pick 3 to 5 things that you really want to look at, you want to measure, and you want to grade yourself on it. You want to self-grade your score on how you're doing against this. And we talk about it every 2 weeks. So, and the beauty of it is, again, certain things, when they take a real long time to accomplish, and it's easy to get off schedule, and everybody's really busy. Here, we're asking for 3 minutes of every single person who's involved in an OKR, talk about their OKRs, talk about their results, talk about how they're doing against them. And again, 3 minutes. It's a 3-minute exercise for each person, and voila. It keeps everybody attentive, keeps everybody focused. And what I have really found to be so enjoyable about this process is it's not tedious. I'm not beating people or really, pushing people to do things they don't want to do.
Right.
They've embraced this because they've seen the value in it. They've seen the results. They've seen, and they're enjoying it, and they're challenged by it. So, to me, that's a great win.
Yeah, that's terrific. You and I have also talked about made your job just a little bit easier as well.
Tremendously easier.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I know what's important to Jack. I know what's important to the company. Knowing that is, these are things that inside each of the individuals also important to them. We're all on the same page. We're all talking the same language.
Right.
We're having easy conversations, and we're all on the same conversation. Yeah. So again, do you want to do better? Do you want to have better performance? Are goals important to you? Have you ever set goals and really lost track of them? When you hear all the yeahs, and you can sit down and offer them a really simple solution to it, it gets embraced.
It's powerful. And, Jack, we have all that visibility, so everybody gets a chance to see what everybody's doing. Conversations change,
Tim, I think that's, again, something else that's really beautiful is that there's nothing hidden here. It's all out there. It's all on our shared drive. Everybody's looking at it at any point in time. Any point in time you can add to it. You can score yourself. You can talk about it. I could see anybody and everybody's, they could see mine. It's really, again, I find some uniqueness to this because, so often organizations say, hey, we do this, we're all bought in, but are they really? And, here I feel the comfort that everybody really is bought in and they're all enjoying it. And they're all enjoying what each of them are individually accomplishing because they're seeing how this all adds up to how the company is accomplishing its goals.
100%, Jack. And I, as having a chance to sit in the meetings, working with everybody, helping them develop their objectives and key results for the quarter, you really find Diversant's very positive attitude. We're going to make this work. We're going to stretch them a little bit. Let's see if we can shoot for Mars and hit the moon, kind of mentality. Right. If we can't even hit Mars. So we've kind of answered kind of my next question, but if you look and say, what is the biggest success that OKRs have brought to your organization?
Tim, it's I'd be hard pressed to find one thing, but I want to start with an intangible. I think culture. I think it really has helped enforce and drive the competitive quality culture that we've been building inside the organization.
Yeah.
And it's led to, and why I said it's not just one thing, because I think this has been a really big part of the culture of success that people in the company are looking for. And so I think it's really helped catalog that. It's helped frame that for us, but it's led to the success. Because here we are in the month of June in, a really, really difficult, challenging time. And the company is having tremendous results. And I really, I don't think there's ever any one thing that leads to something, but I don't think if we didn't have OKRs embedded in our business, and we made the hard right decision to keep with an OKR program, to keep with our investment in this, to keep continuing with this, knowing that we're, in some tough times where we don't know what the industry is going to be, we don't know what the business environment is going to be like, but we chose to continue to embrace what we're doing with OKRs. And now we look back and I look at the results that we've achieved by having them in place. And, I guess I am a believer a little bit in luck. But, I think luck is a lot of what you have, what you prepare to do and how you prepare to achieve it. And I think it's, a lot of things are helpful out there. But I do really feel that adopting this methodology and putting this inside the company has been tremendously helpful to the success we've achieved.
Right. Luck is where hard work and opportunity kind of intersect. And
exactly.
You all have done a fantastic job. So what advice would you give an organization, kind of looking back? You and I talked a little bit about the staffing industry overall, and but what advice would you give any organization that is considering some type of, whether it's a goal setting, performance management type of system, and specifically OKRs?
Well, I hate to say this, but there's a term out there called no-brainer. Right. I think this is a no-brainer. It's like when I saw my first introduction to OKRs was the link that you sent me with John Doerr talking about it. And it's easy to get, when they talk about the success of companies called Google and how Google, in its early stage, chose to embrace OKRs and have continued to live with OKRs. To me, Google's done pretty well. It's a pretty good, company to look at their recipe for success and say, I'd like to take a little piece out of that. But it's not only Google. There's numerous great companies that have adopted OKRs, embraced them. Red Hat, many others that are out there. Small, large, medium, all different, shapes. And it's not something that you have to be really big to utilize, or really small. And, if you're looking for something to help guide you, to help lead you, I think this is the way to go. And it's made my life simple. I like trying to find things that make my life simple. I like to try to find things that make me happy and make me, and, lead to success throughout the organization and for the people in the organization.